Good morning, Year 12. Well, we joined Temujin and the Mongols in 1206, just as he is about to unite the warring confederations and create the Mongol nation. Perhaps his greatest ever achievement. Okay, and we do that because, well, that was the subject of your essay this week, wasn't it? Assess the reason for Temujin's successful unification of the warring tribes by 1206. So, I set this essay having given you very few pointers to see if you could access it. And this is obviously an important skill that we need to develop. So having done that, let's give you some further direction. Okay, now just before that, this is an example of an A question that you might get on this subject too. Which of the following was of greater significance in attempting to explain why Temujin was able to successfully unite the warring tribes by 1206? Was it his organisation, his political understanding? Or was it religion? Which is the most important? Okay, so without further ado, let's move on. Okay, so let's have a look at a number of themes that we could investigate in this essay. There are others too. It all depends on what comes to mind. But I think these areas are perhaps the most obvious to investigate, and they are, as always, interconnected. So first of all, we have alliances. Now, there are probably 3 or 4 that are worthy of mention. Okay, let's think about those. We have the marriage to Borte. We have the alliance with the Genghis in the early days. We have the alliance with his father's blood brother, Togril, and also we have the main one, which is the alliance, the blood brother alliance Anda with Jamukha. Okay, each of these are very important. Now, alliances were very important because it was a chance for the young Temujin, coming from a weak position, to make his own position stronger through alliance. Okay, so he would ally himself with powerful potential partners. Okay, and doing that through marriage, first of all, with Borte, brought his tribe together with Borte's tribe, and that was very important. We have the alliance with a Kerite, with Togril, his father's blood brother, absolutely essential for success. And lastly, we have the alliance with Jamukha. The two would obviously become rivals later on, but in the early days that led to a tremendous amount of success, because all of this led to Temujin's tribe becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and therefore more powerful, and therefore more successful. Okay, so that really takes us on to military success. Now, this is fundamentally important for Temujin's success, fundamentally important, because it's linked to loyalty. And as we know, in Mongol times, 13th century, loyalty was won through strength and success. It was not won through birthright. Okay, and therefore, if Temujin was successful militarily, he won loyalty. So that was crucial to his success. Okay, and military success came because of these alliances that he'd made to make himself stronger. You can see how these are all interconnected. So this is linked to innovation, and military success came about because of innovation. We see innovation in tactics and strategy, we see innovation in organisation, and we see innovation in technology too. Okay, so thinking about organisation, well, we have the decimal system, don't we, in the military? Okay, this was brand new in this part of the world. Okay, and that led to a more effective fighting force. It was more disciplined and more able to perform complex manoeuvres on the battlefield. Okay, because we have our T-men of 10,000, we have our Mingan of thousands, and we have our Arban of 10. And every man knew exactly what the men on either side of him were doing at all times. So we have a more effective fighting force, and this in turn therefore led to greater military success and therefore more loyalty towards Genghis Khan. But the innovation we also see is technological too. Temujin captures and copies plated armour from the Jin. And this leads to greater military success too, because the men are more protected. Oh, and therefore it leads to greater loyalty. And speaking of loyalty, this was further enhanced by his meritocratic system of promotion. Officers led due to ability, and they were promoted due to ability. As Amy pointed out in her essay, Subadai is the greatest example of this. Okay, he rose to the highest position of general from nothing, and I think that led to an incentivized army, didn't it? Because they saw promotion as a real possibility, and therefore, everybody was striving for success, which in turn led to greater military successes, which in turn led to deeper loyalties being formed. It's all part of a very complex, interconnected system. It's genius, really, isn't it? And all of this, it's got to be said, effectively undermined the old internal loyalties that the clans had amongst themselves. And this was so important to achieve not just physical unification, but mental unification too. That was so important for Genghis. How could he ever achieve unification of these separate confederations that had been at each other's throats for so long? Well, the answer is in front of you on this page. This complex system that effectively undermined the old loyalties and built up stronger loyalties to him. It was an act of genius. And last but not least is religion. So, Tengriism, shamanism for the Mongols. It was a powerful motivator. And all empires, without exception, use religion as a political tool to inspire and to legitimize. And Temujin's military successes appeared to show that he had God's favour, the mandate of heaven. Therefore, the Mongols were on the side of God, and they would be rewarded after death. Can you think of a more powerful motivation than that at the time? Temujin was well aware of the power of religion, and he harnessed that power very effectively. And this, obviously, in turn, I'm going to say it again, led to military success, didn't it? And again, that led to more loyalty and further undermining of the old clan loyalties. And all of this together ultimately led to the situation in 1206, where we have a truly united Mongol confederation. His greatest achievement in my eyes, because with that, I think the stage was set for the expansion that was to come later. That was perhaps inevitable once the warring tribes had been unified. So I hope this video's helped. Let me know, and I will speak to you soon.